what's going on, team? I'm on the top of Timber Mountain today. Let's see. I don't know if I can point to it. I might not be dexterous enough. Anyway, I'm over near Mount Baldy. This is where I'm doing a lot of my hikes lately. There's a ridge stretching, from over that way all the way to the other side of Baldy over there. It's got a lot of like 8, 9, 10,000 foot peaks. So doing a lot of hiking over here, trying to grab a lot of those peaks before it starts getting snowy up here. Also, as you'll see from the footage I posted right before this, there were like 50 ravens flying right up here. That was really cool. I just took a minute or two to stop and just watch them. Man, yeah, that was incredible. I got the selfie stick today, so pretty much the premium setup here. All right, so this is going to be a quick one. The hike up here is pretty crowded. It's not just pretty crowded, it's crowded. In order to get up here, it's called Ice House Saddle. That's where the trail kind of diverges over here and goes up to a bunch of the peaks. You have to hike up Ice House Canyon, and Ice House Canyon is definitely one of the prettier places in Southern California. There are a lot of, I talked in the first video about, as you hike up a mountain, you see all the different, ecological bands as the climate changes as you go up in elevation. And Ice House Canyon is a great example of that, because you start off with a lot of deciduous trees. Some of the footage I posted earlier in the video, it's straight up just autumn. You don't really get like a proper autumn down here in Southern California in a lot of places, so it's really nice to see that. And then as you hike up, you're just in this beautiful evergreen forest. And I'm still in the trees, I'm not above the tree line yet. This is called Timber Mountain, so that kind of should tell you. It's a, pretty densely forested area. And over here, I don't know if it'll focus. Maybe not. There's a lot of trees over there too. This is a really, really, really pretty place. And I'm happy to be up here right now. This hike also felt pretty damn easy, which is great. That's always a good feeling. So what I wanted to talk about today is not black metal. It is brutal death metal. Not something I talk about on the channel ever. I probably have never talked about it before. But there are 3 noteworthy brutal death metal albums I wanted to talk about right now, or that I've been enjoying a lot this year. And so that, to me, makes it worth discussing. So cool. So fucking cool. So, okay, so the first one I heard chronologically is by the band Ophiocordyceps. Ophiocordyceps is an Italian brutal death metal band, and the production is very much part of the overall package. So this is hyper produced. It's very technical. It's incredibly fast. They're almost like, I know brutal death metal and slam aren't the same genre, but they get conflated a lot. They're related genres. But this is almost just brutal death metal. There's really no slams on this record. There are a few, but it's just like 30 minutes of just like nonstop intensity. It's, the drums are triggered to hell. Like, just absolutely every hit is the same volume. The kick and the snare almost don't even sound different. It's kind of just, that probably sounds ridiculous with the microphone right there, but just nonstop intensity. Really, really, really good record if you do like brutal death metal. It's just, I kind of have to be in the mood for it, but it's like 29 minutes long or something. It's not really a huge undertaking to sit down and listen to the whole thing. And it's just a lot of fun. It's good for, exercising, or just if you're in the mood for something a little less atmospheric and a little more aggressive. The other thing about this record is thematically, it is, I think, it's about like aliens. Ophiocordyceps is the name of the fungal parasite thing in The Last of Us. And I think thematically the project is about like aliens and stuff like that, which is not unheard of for brutal death metal, but it's a nice reprieve from the gore, the torture and gore stuff. I don't really care. I think it's kind of stupid. I think shock value stuff is just kind of old, unless you have, a little immature streak going in you, which is fine, but it's just not for me personally. So yeah, it's nice to have a band that's not thematically about that stuff. So the second record I wanted to talk about is the band Neathing. I'll put this one on the screen so that you know what I'm saying here. This one is called Agonal Hymns. This one's even shorter. I think it's like 22 or 23 minutes long. It might be a little longer than that, but it's a really short record. And where Ophiocordyceps is super, super like almost overproduced, this is incredibly raw and stripped back. This is a solo project. This guy is a drummer first and foremost, I think, and that kind of shows with the approach to the, I guess, to the songwriting. Everything feels very percussive, and actually, that brings me to a thought I've had more than once, and that's that I think a big hallmark of brutal death metal and slam is that really all of the elements of the music are percussive in some way. The vocals very rhythmic, like just kind of the gutturals, like they kind of just like sync up with the slams and riffs a lot of the time. Obviously, the guitars are so down-tuned that melodic content is not really a priority. And the drums, obviously, I don't need to explain why drums are rhythmic or percussive. So, yeah, when I listen to a lot of brutal death metal, really what I'm listening to is the rhythms, and I think that kind of almost taps into like a primal part of us. I think as a species, we really do tend to like rhythmic. I'm thinking about like primitive man, just like circling around a fire and having a little drum circle or whatever. I think there's a reason that's a trope, because there's something about compelling rhythms that human beings do really like. So I in a weird way, I think that's sort of what slam is referencing, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. And that's why it has that sort of like primal and just knuckle dragging quality to it, because it's just, I don't know, it taps into like I feel like a lot of black metal I like can be like very intellectual and like esoteric, and then brutal death metal is more on the physical primal side of things. Yeah, so that was an aside. It's so hilarious that I said this is going to be short, because I'm 7 minutes in now. Okay, so the last record I wanted to talk about, and this is the one that made me want to do a segment on brutal death metal, is the new Afterbirth record. So if you're not familiar, Afterbirth is a Long Island death metal band. Encyclopedia Metallum claims, I'm not sure if this is true. Let's go over here. Yeah, that's nice. So Encyclopedia Metallum claims that Devourment popularized the sort of toilet bowl. I just call them gurgles. I don't like toilet bowl vocals. I don't think that really references. I don't think it sounds like a toilet. I don't know. Anyway, that style of like really super gurgly vocals, while Devourment popularized it, Afterbirth created it, which is crazy because I didn't even know Afterbirth as a band was that old. But yeah, so this is a Long Island death metal band. The vocalist, who funnily enough is named Will Smith, is just like one of the best death metal vocalists, period. Just hands down. It was also in the band Artificial Brain. I don't remember what happened. I think there was some drama and he got kicked out. I don't know. But Afterbirth is comparable. It's sort of very, very progressive for brutal death metal. It's not non-stop brutality, which is cool. I like variety in these types of records. I like bands that kind of reach into other genres. This one, I don't know if the bass is fretless, but it just kind of has that quality. Like, you can tell the bassist is an incredible musician and probably, plays jazz in his free time. There's just a lot of really like interesting musical ideas going on this record. And the other thing is it's 35 minutes long. And that's something I've been really into this year, is short records. I don't know why. I just find my attention span shortening. And it's not that I don't want to engage with longer records. It's just like, I feel like very few records are really justified in being like an hour long. I don't know, something about it isn't for me. I do like a lot of records. There are a couple records even in my top 20 that I think are on the much longer side, but I don't know. In general, I find myself reaching for shorter records a lot more often. So yeah, 35 minutes. It's like 11 tracks. It's great length for a brutal death metal record, especially one that's as varied as this. Like I said, a lot of jazzy ideas, a lot of electronic elements, just really cool and like engaging listen, while also having that knuckle dragging. I mean, there's got to be better descriptors for death metal than knuckle dragging or calling something a slab. But it's just a great, really gratifying record. So yeah, I recommend checking these out if you like death metal at all. If you don't, sorry, this episode is probably a waste if you're here for black metal or folk. Okay, so no, here's a brief black metal thought. The Serpent in the Sphere by Aglock is extremely underrated. It's a very good record. A lot of older Aglock fans don't like it. I think they're objectively wrong. I think it's a fantastic record. Go listen to it. Go sit down. Really listen to what they did on that record. It's different. It doesn't sound like other Aglock stuff, but that doesn't mean it's a bad record. So yeah, there's some black metal talk for you. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm going to hike back down, get some more footage. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you think I should listen to. Nobody ever actually does that, but I like saying it because I mean it. Like, I genuinely am curious if there's a record you think I've overlooked or just would enjoy, let me know, because I love finding new music. Yeah, other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a good one.